A new Death Battle has just dropped. Aang versus Traveler. Let's dive on into it, Renzo gang. Yeah.
Aang the Avatar versus Ether the Traveler.
Which journeyman will come out on top in this elemental battle?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's
I don't know nothing about the Traveler. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I just know Aang.
a death battle. Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived in harmony, united by a master of the elements, the Avatar.
This Avatar reincarnated as different people for centuries, all with their own struggles. And man, was that true for our boy Aang.
Not at first, of course, thanks to his master and guardian, Yatso.
As a
Yatso.
cheeky little air nomad, Aang traveled the world causing shenanigans, all while learning to control the winds with airbending.
Based on the real-life martial art Bagua Zhang, airbending is
Bagua
the most
Zhang.
spiritual of the four bending styles, focusing on evading and diverting attacks through circular motions. With even the smallest movement, Aang can create tornadoes, run like the wind, and block hypersonic explosions.
The perfect style for a twinkle-toed goofball like Aang. He even
Biologically
invented his own
12.
technique, the air scooter. How does he not fall off that thing?
Add in a glider staff for flight, and the sky
Okay.
was the limit. But you know how it goes. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Their conquest
course.
spread, war was inevitable, and Aang was the only one who could save the world.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with all that, and being forcibly separated from Gyatso. He was just a kid, so he froze up. Like, literally, he accidentally froze himself and his adorable Sky Bison Appa for 100 years.
Until he was awakened by the Water Tribe siblings Katara and Sokka. Time wasn't kind to Aang's people. With no avatar to keep balance, the
Wow.
Airbenders, Aang's entire culture, were wiped out by the Fire Nation.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. But Aang took the wake-up call to heart.
As the Avatar, it's Aang's
I didn't
duty
get.
to understand
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I didn't really get into Avatar like that. I wasn't a huge fan of Avatar. I really wasn't.
the world's people.
I mean, I did watch it. Don't get me wrong, but I just
Joy and
I wasn't a
humanity.
big fan
What
of it.
better way to do that than learning how they kick ass?
From the Northern Water Tribe and his twin crush, Aang learned waterbending.
This might as well should have been an anime.
Tai Chi movements, this style controls liquid in all forms to freeze targets, create water whips, and even cut through steel.
Learning earthbending was way tougher, but Aang's friend Toph taught him to stop being a wimpy pushover. Now he can harbor himself in stone, move the terrain of entire cities, and fight blind with a sonar-style seismic sense.
Earthbending is themed around the steady stances of Hongquan Kung Fu.
Hongquan
waiting for
Kung
the right
Fu.
moment to strike head on.
There was a lot to learn, but even with the world at stake and this moody hothead on his tail, Aang had fun doing it. Who could forget the adventures penguin sledding, going through the bending bayous, and living in Ba Sing Se, the city
Ba
where
Sing
no
Se.
wars ever happened.
Yet across his journey, one power eluded Aang, the Avatar state, an enhanced mode of being that came to him in moments of peril.
Sure, if Aang dies in it, the Avatar cycle ends permanently, but who cares when it gives you enough power to wipe out a whole Navy fleet?
Come on, Boomstick. The Avatar state is more than just a power amp.
Jocelyn, how long have you been standing there?
I've been here the whole time. I lurk where all Avatar talk is. Through the cosmic power of the avatars before him and the ancient spirit Rava, Aang gains the knowledge and experience of all previous avatars, greatly expanding his bending options. Lava bending from Avatar Roku, sonic shouts from Avatar Yang Chen, and even more are theoretically available to him through their memories.
Oh, I get it. You can't just grind your way to controlling the Avatar state.
Nah.
Right. If Aang wanted to stop Fire Lord Ozai, he needed something else.
He needed onion banana juice.
Yeah.
Onion
technically,
banana
I
juice.
suppose. Gross.
Specifically, Aang sought
Ugh.
the guidance of Guru Pate. Mastering his power meant clearing
Onion
his
banana
chakras,
juice,
emptying
ugh.
his mind of earthly attachments. Seems simple, but this also meant rejecting his feelings for Katara, the person he loved most.
When he had to choose between the world or the girl, Aang followed his heart and it didn't end well.
He got better. Aang was determined to understand the world's people, even the enemy Fire Nation. Something he accomplished thanks to the redeemed Prince Zuko, the Sun Warriors.
And these two
Prince
honking
Zuko.
dragons. Aang was scared of firebending, but it's totally awesome. It's not just about burning and blowing shit up. Okay, well it is, but there's so much more to it.
Formed from the explosive movements of Shaolin Kung Fu, firebending controls all manner of heat. And through the teachings of fire and water, he can redirect lightning bending, a burst of atmospheric discharge shot at over 200,000 miles per hour.
Iroh, the best uncle ever, used his techniques to redirect natural lightning. So, you know it's the real deal. Not crazy enough? At his peak, Aang surpassed benders who could throw buildings, melt stone, and hold up this gigantic library solo. Whooping Ozai's butt should be no problem, right?
Not exactly. You see, the air nomads were pacifists who believed in the value of life above all. Being the last airbender, Aang didn't think his people were truly gone unless he went back on their teachings, meaning he really didn't want to kill Ozai.
So, what, he's just a coward now? Mr. Fire
No, it's not that. He just didn't want to kill.
Not at all. Are you even listening? Aang was simply at odds with what he wanted and what the world expected, so he needed to make a choice.
Right. In his greatest challenge yet,
This is kind of throwing me off hearing that
making his
narration.
unbendable and finally mastering the Avatar state.
Making him as strong as avatars who could cause hurricanes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions.
Ooh.
Or in Avatar Kyoshi's case, a new island. As in, she broke off nearly 30 square miles of a peninsula to form a new landmass.
Ooh.
But to defeat Ozai, Aang needed one final element, something few avatars had bent before: energy bending.
Not the easiest thing to do, but Aang totally overwhelmed Ozai, severing the tyrant's connection to fire and stopping his invasion, all while keeping his no-kill run intact. The ultimate F-you to this warlord's ideology.
Now that the Fire Nation had cooled off,
Ugh.
Aang led a new era of peace with the United Republic of Nations, a place where all people could prosper and where a new generation and a new avatar would take the reins.
He even
Yes,
got
sir.
mixed with Katara. Take that, Zutara shippers.
I will end you.
For all his doubts, Aang fulfilled the Avatar's destiny and then some, and he did it in a way that was true to who he was.
Because before being the Avatar, or even an Airbender, the greatest thing he could ever be was himself. All in a day's work for a free, fun-loving kid.
The Legend of Aang.
The battle is coming up thanks to this episode's sponsor, DraftKings Casino.
Big news! Sign up with code
20 days. Valid.
and awaken to an
Governed by godly archons that drew the eye of someone beyond the stars, Ether.
AKA the Traveler, who escaped his dying world with his sister Lumine.
I don't know
Searching
nothing
the
about this
flowers that
character.
bloomed on their lost home.
Like, I don't know
All
nothing
the
about this
Crashland
character.
Awaken to an apocalypse and get cubed by this jerk.
Separated from his sister, Ether awoke, again, in a new, less apocalyptic age, and fished up his own pathetic pet pixie, Paimon.
Yeah, she makes for good emergency food. With his new guide, Traveler to the windy country of Mondstadt to find his link to the past, but got a Breath of the Wild glider instead.
And his first element, Animo, letting him make air slashes, tornadoes, and of course,
Windblade! But guess what? Traveler wasn't the only one with a power like this. Tevat was full of blessed people wielding these relic things called visions.
vision bearers can imbue their weapons and bodies with elemental power, summon items, and use a special, vision to perceive the elements around them.
Normally, they're limited to a single element, but Traveler is just built different. Through Paimon's guidance, he began collecting elements from mysterious statues across Tevat. No vision relic needed for him.
Each nation had a new culture, a new element, a new crisis.
And new character banners. When asked to play a sleuth for a murder case in Liyue, Traveler wasn't interested. A corpse couldn't tell him where his sis was, but he was roped in anyway and got the Geo ability to form rock constructs and eruptions of Earth.
When Ether ventured to Inazuma, he didn't care about its war with the Vision Bearers and their Archon either, until he saw the suffering caused by its tyrannical rule, and joined the resistance with Electro abilities, fighting the powers that be using electric buzzsaws, thunder blades, and lightning.
He even learned to dodge lightning. Other Electro users like my wife Lisa can conjure storms. No shock when my adopted daughter Klee made explosions that raised mountains. Traveler met all kinds of people like this. You know the type. Twinks.
Yeah, Tevat has
has its own laws, Boomstick. Many twinks being one of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them, actually.
Ringmaster.
Shut up, Wiz. This guy's been playing Genshin since launch.
I know everything there is to know about the Genshin meta. Either can mix elements for different reactions. Basically, big elemental combinations. Geo crystallizes materials into special barriers. Electro mixed with water stuns foes. Animo spreads elements around in swirls of destruction. Boom!
Like how I combine beer and gunpowder.
Exactly, Boomstick. Using Dendro, Traveler can form plant life that, when mixed with water and lightning, makes homing beams. Yeah, run from that. With enough clever thinking and artifact farming, you can combine anything in Genshin.
Is the Traveler... Is this an anime?
Okay, we get it. Go lose another 50-50, you whale.
I'll show you a whale. Drop one on your lap next time you're not looking.
In Sumeru, Traveler later beats Scaramouche, an edgy catboy with multiple elements at his fingertips, all in a time loop that got repeated 168 times.
Speaking of time, Ether had control of more than just his own future. Tevet's fate fundamentally changed in ways small and grand, all through his unending willpower.
Because the Traveler was a descender, someone unbound by the land's destiny. Even this big tree that records all of the world's events had no idea he existed.
Like when he helped defy the judgment of a biblical flood in Fontaine, where
Fontaine.
he mastered Hydro for his best Cuphead impression with water bullets.
Heck, a dinosaur chose not to blow up the world just because Paimon and Traveler...
I got Aang winning this one. I'm sorry.
Cool enough,
I don't know nothing about the Traveler. I'm gonna just say I got Aang.
Hell yeah. Yo, look at him. Wonder if I could get a dinosaur on my Genshin team.
Through these legally distinct Pokemon, Ether can fly, dig through the earth, or charge foes like a Jurassic bull. He traveled across the land, searching far and wide, and finally stopped swinging that one-star dull blade.
Instead, picking up the prototype Rancor, which he wields like a beast thanks to the Swordmaster Skirk, and several straight days of training. What a grind set! Still, Traveler Sist kept eluding him, choosing to hang in the shadows with these Gluminati folk.
A group from Conria, the nation cursed by the gods for messing with the Abyss. Unbeknownst to Ether, his sister had already traveled to Vat in a journey that mirrored his own.
And at the end, she found... Well, we don't really know. Not yet, at least. But whatever it is got her to side with the creepy villains. Plot twist!
Eventually, Ether reached the nation of Natlan to fight in its never-ending war with the Abyss. He gained the Pyro element, learning to launch fireballs and explosions combined of flame with lightning.
He didn't just dabble in fancy pyrotechnics. By connecting with the people there, Traveler achieved Night Soul's Blessing, a power-up state fueled by primordial element juice, strong enough to make a blade of fire hundreds of feet long. Hell yeah, that's strong enough to take down the heart of the Abyss, which is on the level of 5-star waifus like Mawika and the Raiden Shogun.
An Archon who, in ages past, sliced Yashiori Island in two.
That's cool, but how about when this Venti guy threw a whole-ass mountain? According to Paimon, Traveler can level a mountain himself.
Why did like a Virgil from behind?
How to use light energy to form a Kuvaki shield, something he used to protect the people of Nodcry by blocking a cannon blast with enough energy to obliterate a town.
This was no ordinary cannon either. It also uses Kavaki energy, so that's a beam of light.
Through all his adventures, Ether had come to genuinely care for Tevat's people. Maybe one day he will reunite with his sister, but for now, he's fighting for a whole new world. His new home.
Ooh, you need a higher adventure rank for that.
Don't you worry, gang. I dumped all my savings into Primo Gems for this. We can't miss when those ice guys trying to kill the Traveler inevitably warm up to him. Still got it.
Oh, so that's why you're broke as shit.
To Ether, the journey has meaning. The birds of Tevat, the songs of its people, they are all part of it. Even if he's against the Abyss itself, a new dawn is somewhere just beyond the stars, and a field of flowers will mean to love. The battle's about to start, and if you like death battle music, some of your favorite battle tracks are coming to a collectible at a discount.
Death Battle, baby. Let's go, Aang.
2 elements?
Come on, Aang. You got this. You got this, Aang. You got this, Aang.
Cool glider. Can it do this?
Come on, traveler! Get up! Never, ever, ever stop moving forward! Remember!
I still got Aang.
No one fights alone.
For those who came before, and those who will follow.
Hey, that was nice.
I am Avatar Aang, the last Airbender.
Let's go, Aang.
Take this! Through the heights and shallows. Through infinite dusks and dawns!
Way to go, traveler! But does this mean no treasure?
Of course, my pick lost.
But dailies are done.
I ain't gonna lie, my
What a
pick's been losing lately. I don't like that.
So let's break this down by power, experience, speed, and elements.
First up, power. Aang and Traveler could both change the terrain of entire cities, and were way stronger than characters that can break mountains. But at their peak, they're both tearing up islands.
Aang's avatar state made him on par with Kyoshi, who created
Kyoshi.
and moved the island of Kyoshi. Similarly, Night Soul's blessing let Ether contend with Archon-level foes like the Raiden Shogun, who split Yashiori Island in two.
With an attack that even Vision Bearers weaker than Traveler can block. So he's definitely on that level.
Kyoshi Island is over 6 miles wide and long. Kyoshi moved the island 17 miles offshore in 2 seconds. So we have everything we need to calculate the amount of kinetic energy this would require.
Turns out it's basically the same as cutting through Yashiori Island, about 3,000 gigatons of TNT. So their power is tied up.
Which means comparing their
Not bad.
experience is crucial.
Ether's mastered more elements than Aang, but the Avatar state gave Aang centuries of knowledge.
With the memories and abilities of past avatars, Aang's kit was so extensive in a way Ether had no real answer for.
Not to mention, Aang's training was more focused. Traveler is skilled, sure, but his training was mostly just a means to finding his sister, while Aang's journey was all about mastering elements to combat other elements.
Experience narrowly goes to Aang. However, another important factor to consider is speed.
In terms of mobility, both could roughly match the other. If Traveler was immobilized with earthbending, he could just dig his way out as a dinosaur.
And Aang's airbending and glider meant he could easily counter Ether if he took flight.
But in terms of raw reaction speed, Traveler had it in the bag. Aang bending away lightning is crazy fast, but Traveler could dodge lightning much earlier in his journey, and now he can block that light-speed Kuvaki laser.
That makes sense.
While lightning can move over 200,000 miles per hour, a beam of light can move 186,000 miles per second.
Over 3,000 times faster than Aang. Traveler takes speed by a landslide.
I
So this
guess.
all came down to the elements. Who could turn the forces of nature against the other?
At first, I actually thought this was Aang's dub.
Ether's elemental control is remarkable, but most of his attacks are projectiles, spires, and very specific implements that Aang has bent away in the past. Ether has never shown the precision or creative flexibility that we've seen with Aang's bending.
But throw in the combos of elemental reactions and the script flips. Traveler could mix not just his elements, but also Aang's in ways that Aang could not. Bending was Aang's greatest strength, but also, against Traveler, a weakness.
Because Aang usually had one or more elements around him, it gave Ether an easy access point through these combinations. When Aang used fire, Ether could use lightning to catch him in an overload. If Aang used water, Traveler's electrocharge could paralyze him, and so on.
Yep,
This isn't
I
just
guess.
a gameplay thing. Genshin characters like the lovely Lisa canonically say this is how the elements work.
And unlike Aang, Ether has fought multiple people who can use multiple elements. The longer the fight went on, the more Ether would trip Aang up with these combinations, some of which Aang could not bend.
Aang could redirect lightning, sure, but what about electro buzzsaws, or an electrified tornado, or dendroblasts of pure plant energy?
The Kavaki shield especially gave Ether a strong defense to fall back on. Since it was made of pure light, Aang had no way to remove it outside of brute force.
By comparison, Aang's wind barrier wouldn't lock Traveler's elements. It would actually merge with them and create more combos that would target Aang himself. Not a great situation to be in.
And since Ether's powers came from external earthly sources, like those statues, Aang could not depower him with energy bending, even if he theoretically overcame Ether's willpower.
Willpower that is strong enough to alter the fate of the entire world. Sorry, Aang, but elements goes to the Traveler. Cinching his victory.
guess.
Either way you cut it, he was in his element.
The winner is the Traveler, Ether.
Okay, I'm ready for my cameo.
Yeah, let's see who's coming up next. Let's see who's
Next time
next Death
on
Battle.
Death Battle.
Brick by Real Brick.
Subscribe and join as a member. to see
Ninjago
more
versus
Death Battle.
Bionicle.
Thanks for watching.
I guess. I'm not really excited on that new Death Battle. I'm gonna just be real, Renzo gang. But hope everyone's had an amazing day today. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Comment down below who you had winning this Death Battle. If you guys want to see the next Death Battle, just let me know. Or if you guys want to see want me to find like an old Death Battle that I haven't reacted to, comment that down below. Because there's a lot of Death Battles and a lot of them I have not seen. So if you guys want to see some old Death Battles, waiting on this new one, let me know. I'll see y'all next time.